Namaskar. This is the news today, your primetime destination. News, newsmakers, talking points. Tonight, the big talking point. One of the criminal politicians, Bahubali Anand Mohan, set to walk free tomorrow. Is this again a misuse of criminal laws and the criminal justice system? Is the big question that we will raise. Also, our wrestlers are still on the street. Why has no FIR still been filed against the Wrestling Federation chief, Bhushan Singh? We'll raise the questions that don't get raised on prime time across news channels. But first, the 9 headlines at 9. Bloodbath in Dantewada in Chhattisgarh. 10 policemen and 1 driver are killed in an IED blast by Naxals. Vehicle was ambushed while returning to headquarters. Prime Minister Modi condemns the attack on the policeman. Wrestlers carry out a candle march at Delhi's Jantar Mantar. Delhi Women's Body recommends FIR against police who failed to register case against Bhushan Singh. The centre says to the Supreme Court, it is ready for an inquiry. Slain IAS officer Krishnaiya's family cry injustice after Bihar Don Anand Mohan Singh is set to walk free tomorrow. Officer's widow says Anand Mohan must be hanged to death. Government opposes same-sex shadi in the Supreme Court, says India's social and ethical setup not aligned with same-sex marriage, says societal acceptance is paramount. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath now hits the campaign trail in Karnataka with Mandya, says Congress soft on PFI. Amit Shah stirs a controversy by claiming that if the Congress comes to power, there will be riots in Karnataka. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's splurge triggers a big war. The BJP targets Kejriwal for the 44 crores spent on Chief Minister House renovation. AAP hits back, says how much did the government spend on Central Vista? Day after BJP releases an alleged tape of Tamil Nadu Finance Minister PTR claiming money management in the DMK leadership, the Finance Minister hits back, calls it a manipulated bid to disrupt good work done by the DMK. IAF and the Navy lead the Sudan rescue operation. Over 278 stranded Indians evacuated from Khartoum. MOS MEA meets evacuated Indians in Jeddah. And rupee at a 3-month high of 81.77 against the dollar as foreign banks sell the greenback for foreign fund inflows into the domestic equity market. But tonight's top story is a story that should really make us worried about the state of the criminal justice system. It's once again under the scanner, with politicians accused of using their influence to benefit the influential. Remember, in Gujarat, the government there was under the scanner for the manner in which convicts in the Bilkis Bano gang rape and riots case were granted remission under a scrapped policy. They were freed by the Gujarat government last year. Now the Nitish Kumar government in Bihar tweaked remission policies earlier this week to free powerful Rajput leader and murder convict Anand Mohan Singh. Anand Mohan Singh has spent the last 15 years in jail, was given life imprisonment for the murder of an IAS officer, but he will walk free tomorrow. It once again puts the focus on the manner in which politicians get away perhaps if they have influence, even though they are criminals. Take a look.
Bihar's Bahubali Rajput politician Anand Mohan Singh goes back to prison one last time. Anand Mohan, who was convicted of the murder of IAS officer G. Krishnaiya in 2007, will soon walk out a free man, thanks to the Nitish Kumar government, which has remitted his life sentence. The slain IAS officer's family is crying injustice.
After we got to know about this decision that has been taken by Bihar government, it is very unfair that the government has not thought about the family who has suffered so much.
The release of the gangster turned politician has triggered massive outrage. The BJP has targeted its former ally Nitish Kumar over the decision to free Anand Mohan Singh.
मेरे ख्याल से आनंद मोहन जी की रिहाई, वो बेचारे तो बलि के बकरा हैं वो तो इतनी सजाब हो गए हैं, उनकी रिहाई पर किसी को कोई आपत्ति नहीं है, लेकिन आनंद मोहन जी के आड़ में जो काम किया है ये सरकार समाज कभी नहीं माफ करेगी।
Anand Mohan Singh was on parole to attend his son and RJD MLA Chetan Anand's engagement when the decision was announced. He dodged queries on his impending release.
अब जितना सवाल जवाब करना था सबका दे चुके हैं, कुछ नया नहीं है। अब निकलेंगे जो फैसला आया सर उसका आईएएस एसोसिएशन में आज प्रणाम करते हैं, आइए सबको प्रणाम करते हैं, सबको प्रणाम करते हैं।
The Mahagathbandhan has defended Anand Mohan Singh's release.
माननीय सुशील मोदी जी, आपने कहा है मात्र 73 दिन पहले ये दस्तावेज हैं और आप यह कह रहे हैं कि यद्यपि कृष्णैया हत्याकांड में भीड़ को उकसाने या हत्या के अपराध में आनंद मोहन सीधे तौर पर दोषी नहीं हैं, फिर भी उन्हें उम्र कैद की सजा हुई है। यह माननीय सुशील मोदी जी का ट्वीट है और बयान है। कानून अपना काम कर रहा, आम और खास के बीच अंतर मिटाएगा, इसके राजनीतिकरण का कोई औचित्य नहीं।
Krishnaiah was the district magistrate of Gopalganj when he was lynched by a mob during Lalu Prasad Yadav's rule.
Amidst the controversy triggered by the Bihar government in its move to release Anand Mohan through a tweaking done in the prison manual, India Today decided to visit Ground Zero where then Gopalganj district magistrate G. Krishnaiah was shot and lynched and finally killed. We are standing in Muzaffarpur on NH28 near Majhaulia Chowk, and in the visuals you can clearly see the place where the entire scene unfolded on 5th December 1994. District Magistrate of Gopalganj G. Krishnaiah was on his way back to Gopalganj from Patna after attending a meeting. The entire mob led by Anand Mohan get charged and the entire scene unfolded at this particular place.
The Nitish Kumar government has tweaked prison rules to facilitate the release of Anand Mohan from jail. Earlier rules did not allow remission for those convicted of murdering a public servant on duty. Bureau Report, India Today.
And earlier today, I spoke to Uma Krishnaiah, the wife of G. Krishnaiah, who, remember, was the IAS officer killed in 1994. Listen in to what she had to say. And joining me now is a very special guest. I'm joined by G. Uma Krishnaiah, the widow of the IAS officer G. Krishnaiah, who was tragically murdered, and the convict was the former MP Anand Mohan Singh, Samta Party co-founder, who's now being released from jail under a new remission order of the Bihar government. I appreciate G. Uma Krishnaiah ji joining me. Namaskar. Are you making a personal appeal to Prime Minister Modi that he should intervene? And you're saying that the IAS Officers Association will decide whether to file an appeal?
I don't know whether I will make a request to the Prime Minister, but through media I am requesting the Prime Minister and even the President also to intervene in this matter and to take back the decision taken by the Chief Minister ji.
Are you requesting Nitish Kumar ji also? He is the Bihar Chief Minister. I'm sure you met Nitish Kumar ji. Do you believe that a decision like this is one that is harming the reputation of the Bihar government and may mean that officers in Bihar will lose confidence in the government? If IAS officers are murdered on duty and then their killers are let off, there is no confidence in the system. So are you making an appeal to Nitish Kumar ji also, ma'am?
See, through media since yesterday I am requesting the Chief Minister ji to take back this decision. Please don't do such kind of things. It will do a harm to the Bihar government and his reputation also. See, now only after some time, after so many days, some people are telling that now the Bihar government is doing some good things, but it will go again. Again he will get the bad name. So it will become a black spot to the political career of the Nitish ji, sir. This decision is very wrong. It will impact the society a lot.
Do you think that this is being done purely because of, do you think, madam, sure, do you think this is being done purely because of politics? Because Anand Mohan Singh was a powerful Rajput leader.
Yes,
do you
yes.
see this as pure politics, nothing to do with the law of the land?
Pure politics only. Because to get the more votes, for that only he is doing all such kind of things. Or they may be forcing the Chief Minister ji also
I want
to release Anand Mohan ji.
When you first heard of this, ma'am, when you first heard that Anand Mohan Singh was being released, what was your first reaction? What did you first think of, you and your family, your children? What was your first reaction, ma'am?
See, all the family members, we feel very bad on that day when we heard this news.
Your children are now grown up. You, of course, moved to Hyderabad.
Yes, sir.
But I'm sure you will never forget your late husband and and you'll never forget your late husband and the sacrifice he made.
Yes,
and
sir.
you will never forgive also,
Correct.
presumably.
We
You will
struggle
never
a lot
forgive
and
Anand Mohan Singh and the killers who are responsible for this.
We will never forgive. We will never forgive. Yeah. With a lot of dreams, he came into that service by doing so very hard work. And without fulfilling his dreams, they have ended his life.
I know you were pushing for the death penalty, ma'am. That death penalty was then reduced to life imprisonment. Now Anand Mohan Singh is walking out of jail. There are pictures of Chief Minister Nitish Kumar with Anand Mohan Singh. Do you believe that justice has not been done? Do you believe you and your family have not got justice?
No, sir. We didn't get any proper justice to our family members, sir. They didn't even bother about the Krishnaya's family, what they are doing, how they are in the Hyderabad. Are they facing any problems? Or they want to do any help? They didn't even contact at least once.
The Bihar government did not contact you even once in all these years? In all these years when you were in Hyderabad, the Bihar
Even
government
once,
never
sir,
contacted you once to find out how you and the family were doing?
No. No, sir, no, not
That is-
even once. Yes,
AP government has done more than the Bihar government. In a sense, the Bihar government has almost forgotten your husband and the ultimate sacrifice that he committed in the manner he was murdered, killed. You know, you obviously therefore feel angry at what has happened. What is your message therefore today to other IAS officers or indeed to the Bihar government? You have a message for those who are, you know, putting their lives in the line of duty.
See, sir, the way they are treating this case, this incident, all the IAS officers will be demoralized. See, if they work sincerely, they will get this punishment at last. The government don't recognize their services, sincere services and their committed service. So, what message I can give, sir? I can't say you don't do work. All the officers have to do the work with commitment, like my husband. I can't say don't do the work. Because they are meant for that. The IAS officers, they have to do lot of work for the betterment of the service. So how can I say don't do work? See, the political leaders will work for some time, but the officers will work for so many years, nearly 30-35 years they will work, and they come into that service with that motivation only, to do some service. So my husband's aim was that only. If I became IAS officer, I can do something to the society. That's why he came into that service. Otherwise, he got lecturer job, assistant lecturer job before IAS cadre. So he joined and worked for 5-6 months. But he decided to go into that service because I can help some people through this service. So he came into that service. Otherwise, he would have become, means in the university, he might have got the job, professor job. the lifestyle will be more comfortable for
Are
us.
you then?
But
Are you then
he thought
calling on?
he
Are you
can do
today,
something.
ma'am? Are you today, ma'am? And do you still have faith in the law? Do you still have faith, ma'am, in the
But
rule
this-
of law,
but
the
this-
law? Do you still believe that the law is equal for all? Or do you believe the powerful get away in this country? Those who are politically
Yeah.
powerful, those who are politically influential get away? Or you have faith that the law will give you justice one day?
Law, I have confidence in the law, in the justice, sir. They will do the right decisions, I think, sir.
And the right decision, according to you, is Anand Mohan Singh must spend his entire life behind bars. He must not be released. He and those responsible for the murder of Krishnaiah ji
Yes,
must
yes.
not be released. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Till his death. Not only for 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
He should either be hanged to death or he should have spent his entire life behind bars. Let's raise the big question then tonight. Do criminals with political connections get preferential treatment in the country? Should the Nitish Kumar government reverse its decision? Will the likes of Anand Mohan's release demoralize government servants in the future? Anand Mohan Singh freed for electoral benefits. These are some of the questions I will raise. Joining me now, Prakash Singh, former DG BSF and been DGP in Assam as well. One of the leading IPS officers of the country, Dr. Subhash Sharma, is former IAS officer, Bihar cadre, who served with Krishnaiah. And I'm also joined by Dr. Sunil Singh, spokesperson, JDU. I want to come to you first, Prakash Singh. When you hear the story, that here is someone who was slain in the course of the duty and now remission rules have been twisted to allow, have been tweaked to allow Anand Mohan Singh, after 15 years, mind you, to walk out of jail. What's your first reaction?
I would say we have learned nothing from the Atik episode. We saw a mafia don growing in stature under political patronage in UP and becoming a menace to society. And now we are seeing another don being released as a political concession or a political preferential treatment and being, I mean, even though he was guilty of murdering an IAS officer. I mean, it will have a very demoralizing effect on the service officers that they have to be very careful in handling mafia dons and they should not be strict.
No, the Bihar government is saying, look, he served 15 years. 2007 to 2022 or 23, he's been in jail. He would have, in a normal course, served 20 years before he could have been eligible for remission. They tweaked the rules so that he can walk away 5 years earlier.
So why did they have to tweak the rules for a person who was guilty of murder, that too of an IAS officer? He could have served for, if he had served 15 years, he has done no favor to the government or to the people of the country. He should have been made to serve for another 5 years.
He should have served the full 20 years.
Of course, he should have.
Okay. Subhaji, your first reaction as someone who served with Krishnaiah, do you believe that Krishnaiah's family, you heard his wife, has not got justice? I'm going to play a bite in a moment of how she told me today that not once did the Bihar government contact her in all these years. She got more support from the Andhra government than the Bihar government. Do you believe the family has not got justice?
Yes, it is certainly true that family has not got justice from the government of Bihar, and for many years there was no any concession for the family. There was no any information about the family, what is happening to them, and no support, etc. And now the lower court had given death sentence to Anand Mohan Singh, and that has been converted to life imprisonment, and that again has been reduced by changing the remission laws of the prison. So that is very unfortunate. Not only for the family of Krishnaiah, but also for the entire society as well as for the entire civil services.
You're saying that the civil services will be demoralized? That does it send out the wrong message in
Yes,
a way?
very, very true.
That if you do your duty
Yes.
and you're attacked by a Bahubali or a criminal,
Yes.
you will not get protection because that person has the political influence.
And that is why people will not be daring to take action against such dons. And therefore, such decisions should be reviewed and I think it should be reversed.
You saying the decision should be reversed Dr. Sunil Singh of the JDU, are you all willing to reverse the decision? Or is the fact that because Anand Mohan is such a powerful, influential figure, his son is an MLA in the RJD government, his wife has contested and won elections in the past, you don't want to alienate Anand Mohan Singh and family ahead of the election? He got parole 4 times in the last 3 months to attend various weddings. He has got parole for almost a couple of years over this period, regularly out on bail. I mean, what is the message being sent out to the people of Bihar?
Rajdeep, don't take us wrongly. First of all, take it in this perspective. Any manual, jail manual needs changes from time to time. There was a special provision for civil servants, but there is a right of equality in the constitution. We deleted the difference between arm and the khas. If the civil service servants need a special protection, so do we doctors. But then no, everybody is equal in the eyes of law. So that arm and caste distinction was deleted, and that led to the release of not only Anand Mohan, 27 other convicts. They belong to all religion, all caste, forward,
how is
OBC,
the murder,
MBC,
Dr. Singh,
Dalits.
Dr. Singh, how is the murder of an IAS officer on duty not a heinous crime that deserves the full 20 years? Why do you need to tweak the rules in the manner that you've done?
No, not in the manner. It was not done especially for someone. Let me make it very clear. And don't you think that not only, yes, it's a heinous crime, but then he served his full sentence. He was served as per the law, and the Supreme Court the High Court has changed the death sentence to the life imprisonment. It was not the government. So as per jail manual, his behavior was good, and the distinction was abolished, deleted between the arm and the caste. Why only IAS officers? Yes, I have all sympathy for the family, but then we doctors, the advocates, everybody deserves that thing. They should be put into that caste category.
Yes, but everybody, if it is life, it should be 20 years. My point is, if it is life, it should be the full 20 years in cases like this. You're talking about good behavior. November 2022, he was out on parole for daughter's ring ceremony. February 2023, he's out on parole for daughter's wedding. April 2023, now parole son's ring ceremony. And the Chief Minister is seen with him. If the Chief Minister is seen with Anand Mohan Singh, what's the message that's going out? That the Chief Minister is with the politically powerful person and not with the widow. Anand Mohan Singh's wife told me, Krishnaya's wife told me today that she was not contacted even once by the Bihar government in all these years.
I have full sympathy for Krishnaya's family, but then Bihar government did not contact, she expressed it. Did IAS Association ever contacted her? I mean, I'm not going to that detail. I have all sympathy for the family of the Krishnaya. But let me make it very clear in this thing. Parole was given as per jail manual, and if CM is going on a wedding visit, I think it's a courtesy visit that has nothing to do with his release. Don't you think? In a socio-political life, we should go for anybody's colleague's daughter wedding? Don't you think so, Rajdeep? I think it's a common courtesy and a common. I mean, it's a culture to go in each other's marriage. It has nothing to do with that. And about him being a Rajput leader or whatever it is, let me tell you, the Honorable Nitish Kumar is known for all caste and creed. And people who were released, most of them were Dalits, backwards, extremely backwards, Muslim. So nothing to do with caste. There is no caste bias in it. It's only that it was demand of time. With the right of of time, with the right of equality being processed, and a distinction between arm and the khas was deleted. That is all.
Okay. I just want to play what Krishnaya's widow had told me about when I asked her whether the Bihar government had helped her in all these years. Just listen in. I know you were pushing for the death penalty, ma'am. That death penalty was then reduced to life imprisonment. Now Anand Mohan Singh is walking out of jail. There are pictures of Chief Minister Nitish Kumar with Anand Mohan Singh. Do you believe that justice has not been done? Do you believe you and your family have not got justice?
Yes, sir. No, sir. We didn't get any proper justice to our family members, sir. They didn't even bother about the Krishnaya's family, what they are doing, how they are in the Hyderabad. Are they facing any problems? Or they want to do any help? They didn't even contact at least once.
The Bihar government did not contact you even once in all these years? In all these years when you were in Hyderabad, the Bihar
Even
government
once,
never
sir,
contacted you once to find out how you and the family were doing?
No, no, no. No, sir, no, not even once. AP government has done more than the Bihar government.
Prakash Singh, what does that say, sir? A government doesn't even contact the widow of a slain IAS officer. The IAS Officers Association also perhaps needed to do more. But in the first instance, a government, what's the message again?
No, I'm really disappointed if the politicians did not care to contact her. At least there is a strong IAS cadre there in Bihar. The association never bothered to contact her, never cared to look after her welfare, whether she needs any help of any kind. I mean, I'm really surprised. I mean, at the politician level, yes, you can expect anything. You should not expect anything. But there is a formidable IAS cadre in Bihar. What were they doing all these years?
You know, the JDU representative, Dr. Singh, is saying there's no caste angle here. Please don't look at it as a case where a forward caste is being given the advantage. But the fact is that I asked the BJP to send a spokesperson, they refused. You've got Union Minister Giriraj Singh defending what has happened. And we saw in Bilkis Bano also, where an MLA called the convicts who were released Sanskari Brahmins. I mean, you wonder, Subhashji, whether the law is different for those who are politically influential. Those who belong to forward caste in Bihar seem to have far more clout.
It is very unfortunate. Ultimately, vote politics is there, whether it is in Gujarat or in Bihar or elsewhere. And if we continue this in future, I think only God can save this country. After all, in democracy, there should be equality for all. And justice is done only when law is prevailing in all respects, not that it is cut to size as it suits to anybody.
You knew Krishnaya. What kind of an officer was he?
He was perfect officer. He was very gentleman. He was very nice. He was honest officer. He was in Hazaribagh subdivision, and I was in Chatra subdivision of the same district. And we had very cordial relations. And he was a thoroughly gentleman.
You know, Dr. Singh, it's well known that because at that moment Anand Mohan had this clout in the area, therefore he got tangled with Krishnaya, who was trying to, in a way, take on the mafias. Now, Nitish Kumar has always said he's against Jungle Raj. This happened in 1994 when Lalu Prasad was the chief minister. Now, all these years later, doesn't this somewhere affect Nitish Kumar's image? What was the pressing urgency is the question. 5 years more would not have changed anything. He should have spent the full 20 years. That's all. How does it only damages Nitish Kumar. When then tomorrow you say that how did the Gujarat convicts, rape convicts get away? How will you be able to justify the moral high ground when you allow Anand Mohan Singh to get away?
Those are two different things, Rajdeep. In Gujarat, in Bilkis Bano case, in the remission board, there was a BJP leader, which made the thing. And in Bihar, jail manual was changed as per law, and it's a very important thing to just believe that why does only civil servants should have a special status. So we deleted the difference between the arm and the caste, and constitution provides right to equality. That is all. And the beneficiary whosoever were, most of them were Dalits, Muslims, Yadavs, backwards, and all castes. Even the extremely backward classes. So you cannot interpolate that we had somebody in mind to be influential of a forward community. I mean, that is a conclusion that is being much.
Okay, you're saying that this was not meant only for Anand Mohan Singh, but several people. You buy that, Prakash Singh? Because we've seen, particularly on parole, we are seeing with the Dera Sacha Soda chief, he's out on parole despite having been convicted in murder and rape. Now we are seeing it with Anand Mohan Singh. We've seen it in Gujarat. I mean, what is the message that is going on? Do you agree that the politicians are saying, look, the government has the discretion, we are benefiting several life convicts by giving them the opportunity to get remission because of good behavior?
I wouldn't be surprised if these 26 other people were mixed with Anand Singh so that they could justify Anand Singh's remission.
Is that your suspicion? Your suspicion is this is directed to protect, to give Anand Singh a break?
That is what I suspect. I have no proof of it.
But what is the way forward? How do you stop this? Who should intervene now? You've got Krishnaiya's widow appealing to the Prime Minister, appealing to Nitish Kumar. Should the Supreme Court now make it very clear that governments cannot misuse these discretionary powers?
I think this pattern will have to be studied. If this kind of pattern is developing across the country and several states have been guilty of reckless remissions, I would say, then I think at some stage somebody should go to the Supreme Court and insist on revising the existing rules on the subject.
Okay.
And getting judicial directions to that effect.
Well, someone has to step in, because otherwise the fear is governments will use these remission rules selectively to protect their own. I appreciate my guest joining me. I hope someone out there is listening. Anand Mohan should have completed, we believe, his 20 years surely in prison. He'd already got a break from the death sentence, but life should have been the full 20 years. Think about it. Let's turn from there to the other big story tonight, because 10 security personnel and a driver have been killed in a resurgence of Maoist violence in Chhattisgarh. This happened in Dantewada. It's our ground report.
The Red Terror has struck again. The far-left Naxal guerrillas have mounted their latest attack, and one of the deadliest in years, in Chhattisgarh. A patrol of the District Reserve Guard blown up by an IED near Aranpur in the state's Dantewada district. 10 jawans and one driver of the DRG lost their lives in the explosion.
ये बेहद दुखद है, और मैं जो हमारे जो जवान शहीद हुए हैं उसके परिवार के प्रति संवेदना व्यक्त करता हूँ। लेकिन जो ये लड़ाई है वो अंतिम दौर पे चल रहा है, और नक्सलियों को किसी सूरत में छोड़ा नहीं जाएगा, और निश्चित रूप से उस योजनाबद्ध ढंग से बना के ये नक्सलवाद को ही समाप्त करेंगे।
The Prime Minister condemned the attack and offered condolences to the bereaved families. The Home Minister assured the Chhattisgarh government of all central assistance. The attack, suspected to be a well-planned ambush, the DRG patrol tipped about Naxal presence in the Aranpur area. The anti-Naxal operation turned out fatal. On its return, the patrol fell victim to an IED planted by the ultra-left insurgents.
Post the unfortunate incident today, 2 CRPF helicopters are flying in and around the blast spot to keep a very close vigil and to avoid any untoward incident from here on. Multiple additional forces have also been deployed along with CRPF battalion to nab the perpetrators who executed the entire ambush. In fact, road blocking has also been done at every nook and cranny of Dantewada's Aranpur, and each passing vehicle is also being inquired.
4 districts, including Dantewada, still battling the Naxal problem in Chhattisgarh alone. Multiple security forces have been actively engaged in anti-Naxal operations. The armed guerrillas operate from thick forest in what is called the Red Corridor, a mineral-rich territory stretching from Andhra Pradesh to Chhattisgarh and into parts of West Bengal. According to the central government, the geographical spread of Naxal violence is significantly reduced, from 96 districts in affected states in 2010 to 46 in 2021. Yet, the outlawed insurgents who claim to be fighting on behalf of the poorest have been able to unleash deadly attacks in different parts over the years. The insurgent movement got its name after the village of Naxalbari in West Bengal, where a violent left-wing uprising occurred in 1967. Their latest assault in Dantewada suggests this internal security challenge is far from over. With Sumi Rajapan, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's turn from there to another cry for justice, this time from our Olympic wrestlers. Their protest has entered day 4. 7 women wrestlers have now filed complaints against the Wrestling Federation of India chief and MP Brij Bhushan Saran Singh, accusing him of sexual harassment over a 10-year period. But still, no FIR has been filed. The Supreme Court wants answers. Take a look.
It's day 4 and our sporting heroes are still on the roads. Anger mounts as authorities fail to act on charges of sexual harassment levelled against BJP MP and Wrestling Federation of India chief Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. The wrestlers who are on protest claim Brij Bhushan is still calling the shots in the Wrestling Federation of India.
देखिए हमने स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्टर ने जितना भी हमने बातचीत की सब उनको बताया था, सब उनके सामने रखा था, फिर भी वो लोग अगर कुछ कार्रवाई करने को रेडी नहीं है तो फिर हमें मतलब लीगल तरीके से जाना पड़ेगा।
वो सोर्सेज पता नहीं हमारे पास क्यों नहीं है। वो बोल रहा है कि मैं साफ छवि का आदमी हूँ, लेकिन वो जो हमारी विक्टिम उनको दबाया जा रहा है, धमकाया जा रहा है, पैसे की वो लालच दिया जा रहा है। ये कौन से शरीफ लोगों के काम है।
A day after the Supreme Court served notice to the Delhi police on a plea filed by the athletes, the police have told the court that a preliminary inquiry may have to be conducted before filing an FIR. The Delhi Women's Commission has recommended an FIR against the police officers for failing to take any action in the matter of sexual harassment.
आज 5 दिन हो चुके हैं, लेकिन अब तक दिल्ली पुलिस ने विमेन रेसलर्स के सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट के केस में कोई एफआईआर दर्ज नहीं करी है। लड़कियों को और उनके परिवार वालों को लगातार धमकियां मिल रही हैं और उन्होंने यहां तक बताया है कि उनको ऐसा लगता है कि दिल्ली पुलिस के ऑफिसर्स ने उनके नाम अक्यूज्ड को लीक कर दिए हैं और तभी उनको धमकियां मिल रही हैं।
Many opposition leaders, including former Haryana Chief Minister Bhupinder Hooda, have backed the wrestlers' protest. The latest to extend support is former Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik. The athletes have camped at Delhi's Jantar Mantar demanding an FIR against Brij Bhushan. Talks so far have failed to break the deadlock. Bureau Report, India Today.
So what's the way ahead for India's wrestlers who've hit the street? Joining me now is former Olympian Reet Abraham, and joining us is the grand old or grand young man of Olympic sports writing. Norris Preetham has covered Olympic sports for decades. Appreciate both of you joining us. Reet Abraham, to you first. When you see those images of some of our leading wrestlers, including Olympic winners, on the street protesting and calling for the removal of the WFI President Brij Bhushan Saran Singh, how do you see it? Do you believe this needs to be, is there a way to resolve this or not?
I mean, this is ridiculous that this has been going on for so long. This should have been resolved, immediately. And the Sports Ministry, the Olympic Association of India should have taken steps to, protect the athletes, because these are the top wrestlers who have brought glory to our country. So when they are protesting and, calling for attention, if we cannot support them and say that, okay, we are hearing you and we will do the needful, this is really sad and ridiculous. And if we could take action against the president of the Wrestling Federation of India, I mean, we could do it, but, our hands are tied, and the federation, the Indian Olympic Association and the Sports Ministry and the government should support them and give them all the support.
You're saying that the Indian Olympic Association and the Sports Ministry should support them. What Sports Ministry officials say is that they had a report, they've got a report with them of a committee headed by PT Usha. In that committee, they are claiming no proof has been provided, solid proof of the sexual harassment charges against Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. The Sports Ministry and the IOA therefore say their hands are tied. Everyone seems to be passing the buck, Reet.
I don't believe that the girls would, say that they were sexually harassed. I mean, can we have proof all the time when things like this happen? we would want to trust the president or the secretary of a federation and associations. And if something like this happens and the girls are saying that they have been sexually harassed, do we want to ask proof for them? Proof of what, how, and when, and things like that? This is not done at all. I don't think the girls would be protesting so hard, giving up their training sessions and every other important thing that is required for them to be there as athletes to bring glory to the country for such a long time. This is serious.
Okay, Norris Preetham, taking up from what Reet is saying, just two points emerge. One, there was a committee appointed headed by PT Usha, Mary Kom, so they looked at apparently all these charges. What we are gathering is that apparently no one came to actually testify before this committee. They've all come on the street, they protested, said, please file an FIR. We are ready to file a complaint. Delhi police has still not filed an FIR. What's your sense? Do you believe that the sports ministry or someone is stalling, protecting Brijbhushan Saran Singh prima facie? Should he have at least withdrawn pending this inquiry?
I mean, as things are happening, it's very, very clear, visible that somebody is trying to defend the person, the accused person in question. And when we talk about the proof, tell me, will the girl who's suffering, was she carrying a camera to record, to record the act? I mean, where will we find a rape accused which shown as doing the act? This is ridiculous. And first of all, the committee is not empowered to ask for the verification or for the witness. Their task should be to listen to the both parties and if need be, give it to the police. And the police has to investigate. The committees have they're not empowered to justify or not to justify. They have to listen to the complaint. And the police should have taken an action, and Supreme Court should ask the information officer at the Parliament police station or wherever, whether it is Parliament station or New Delhi station, I don't know where they lodged a complaint. The desk officer, he should be immediately sacked for not taking action, especially when there was a juvenile who has lodged a complaint. So this to say that.
Sure, the other point that is coming out, Norris, while you're saying the police should have acted at once, they should have acted on this complaint, is the fact that if you're seeing the protests, there are now politicians. In the first round, when the protest took place 3 months ago, politicians were kept away. Now the likes of Bhupinder Singh Hooda, Udit Raj, Brinda Karat are all joining in, and many therefore are saying, has this become a political proxy war between Congress and BJP, especially in Haryana, where most of these girls come from and where elections are next year?
Rajdeep, last time when the first round of this protest was happening, you were there and you and I had a discussion on the same thing at the spot. And there the politicians were not allowed. And I think both of us and most of us welcomed the step that these sports persons or these wrestlers have a clout or a image or much more than any politician in the country, so they don't need politicians. The only problem, the earlier also I said, and what the mistake they made was they did not go to file a police complaint. If they had done it by now, I think something would have emerged. So now the politicians are coming, and that's their job. And maybe I spoke to Bajrang and he said, yeah, we made a mistake last time. And the problem is they are also a little frustrated. They are young people. They are good wrestlers. They are sports persons. Neither they are politicians. They are not criminals. They have never done anything in their lives. So they don't know whatever the people were saying, they were doing it. And now that they have asked for the politicians, whether it is because of the elections or whatever, forget about the elections. My contention is that 2 months have passed and they're sitting, and today in the morning, they trained at Jantar Mantar on the road. I mean, what can be more shameful than in the Olympic year? The Olympics are down the corner and our top wrestlers are made to run bare feet on the Kolta road at Jantar Mantar at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the policemen were shooing them away. They said, don't do it. I mean,
in a sense, therefore, now that they filed a complaint, the police should have acted. This matter has, of course, now reached the Supreme Court. Supreme Court also wants to know from the government, what are they going to do? How are they going to proceed? The Solicitor General today says, look, if there is a need for a complaint, we will have an inquiry. After the inquiry, we'll file an FIR and proceed. It seems, Reet Abraham, that we are back to the old days where the Federation chiefs almost were so strong that they could spread fear. The likes of Brijbhushan Saran Singh, who, dare I say, is someone who in the past has been accused under TADA for sheltering Dawood Ibrahim's aides. He's the kind of person who heads this group. It almost seems an unequal battle between the wrestlers and an all-powerful, multiple times MP.
Yeah, it's really sad that nothing much has changed, after all these years, and still the federations and the associations, most of them are, headed by the politicians. Why would they want to be there at all? Their job is not there to, tell what the athletes are supposed to do. The athletes are much more knowledgeable at what they require. Are these, most of these presidents who are there heading the associations and federations supporting the athletes? No. Are they doing anything to change the system? No. They are just there for, to be on the, I think they're saying that they are the president of the federation and they are trying to help the athletes, but they are not doing a damn about anything to improve the situation or support the athletes.
Therefore, Norris, in conclusion, is it that nothing has changed? The more things change, the more they remain the same. Here you've got Prime Minister Modi, saying India wants to become an Olympic nation. Whenever the any Olympian does well, they are invited to the Prime Minister's residence. But for the last 2 months, radio silence. No one in government seems to be standing up for these wrestlers.
Yes, there are ministers who play table tennis with the players, but when they're protesting the wrestlers, nobody has come. I agree with you. And you know what? One very senior Delhi police officer today told me that it was a mistake on the part of the information officer not to lodge a complaint. But that officer obviously couldn't say on record. And even bigger official, a sports official, a very top official in India, today, he confided in me on anonymity without being quoted. He said, he is a don, careful. No, nothing, you can't do anything about him. He has so many districts under his control. He has a political cloud. Nothing, I am afraid something should have been done, but nothing can be done. This is the kind of state that it's an international shame. So many wrestlers from Sweden, Sonia Matson was fought with Vinesh. She called me up today in the morning and said, what is happening? Please let us know. The Yuri Meyer, a Hungarian wrestler, he's asking, we have become a butt in the international, scene. And we are going to have an IOC session next year, and this is what we are going to do. It's ridiculous.
So you're saying 1 year to go for the Olympics. We talk about being an Olympic nation. We celebrate our athletes when they win medals, but when they express their anguish, their anger, nobody is there to stand up for them. And that really, in a way, typifies perhaps what's wrong with Indian sport, particularly Olympic sport. Athletes find themselves in an asymmetry of power with these very powerful officials who run our federation. We hope someone in government will at least listen to our athletes and, for God's sake, at least file an FIR at the very instance. And Brijbhushan Saran Singh should withdraw pending that inquiry. I hope that message is loud and clear. Reet Abraham, Norris Preetham, for joining me today on the News Today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajdeep.
Let's take a break. When we return, we'll look at just how the entire political class has come together to pay last respects to one of India's iconic political figures, the Akali Dal patriarch, Prakash Singh Badal, who passed away yesterday. More on that when we return.
Be it the West or back home here in India. Since time immemorial, tobacco smoking use has been justified. promoted, encouraged and glamorized. But not anymore. From this to this,
तेरे पास पैसे हैं लेकिन बीवी को मौत से बचाने के लिए पैसे नहीं।
we have moved miles ahead.
ये देख, मौत लिखी है इस पे, मौत।
In India, the earliest instances of tobacco warnings were in the form of television advertisements.
I lost very much until one day I couldn't stand on my feet.
But there was not enough done to implement a ban on public smoking and warnings on tobacco packs.
Paid a price with a cigarette in my hand. I was a dead man.
While these ads became popular and common, tobacco sales picked up with the young taking to smoking like never before.
महंगा पड़ता है।
The tobacco industry thwarted the ad ban legislation in India in the 1990s. In fact, the ban on public smoking came about only in the year 2008. Smoking in public places was prohibited nationwide from the 2nd of October 2008 under the Prohibition of Smoking in Public Places rules. The nationwide smoke-free law pertains only to public places though. The idea was to prevent passive smoking. From simple pictorial warnings that were completely ineffective to these. A long, hard-fought battle made the government implement strict pictorial warnings. While the industry works its way around sanitization of cigarettes to surrogate ads,
यूं ही नहीं, मैं
experts say the government must work doubly hard in outdoing the tobacco industry in its tactics.
Welcome back. Just about enough time to wrap up with our image of the day. The Shiromani Akali Dal veteran, 5-time Chief Minister of Punjab, Prakash Singh Badal, was cremated today. The Prime Minister visited the party's office in Chandigarh, the Akali office, to pay his last respects and condoled with Mr. Badal's death, saying he was a colossal figure of Indian politics. The centre has announced a 2-day state mourning as a mark of respect to the veteran politician. Prakash Singh Badal, starting from a sarpanch in the 1950s to becoming the chief minister of his state, was a formidable political figure. That's our image of today. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Good night. Shubh Ratri. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
understand, the company has so far got a recorded sales of 7,000 odd crore rupees. Margins you've reported 25-26% around. Now you have definitely outperformed the sector in terms of growth. If we look at the historical performance, now markets would really want to know what kind of growth outlook, is there for the company from here on as well. Would you be confident enough to outperform the sector and the industry growth even now, despite the bigger base now?
Until 10th of next month, I can talk about the past only, and onwards, we'll talk about the future. But look at the past.